and gentlemen, and welcome to the second part of Speed Week Season 8.1 here in the Budweiser All-Pro Series. It is Can-Am Duel number 1 here under the lights at Daytona International Speedway. The top 21 drivers who qualified in the odd number positions are in this race specifically. Now, don't forget, if you crash out of this race, if you DNF, you will have to start the Daytona 500 from the rear of the field. The only real issue that would be, well, with most of these drivers, would be with that number 42 Chevy Camaro, Michael Whitman, who is the current Daytona 500 pole sitter. Now, he will get credited with being on the pole for the Daytona 500, even if he has to go to a backup car or go to the rear of the field. Now, I am not alone up here in the commentator's booth. I got two drivers with me who will be in Can-Am Duel number 2. I got driver of the number 03 Reese's Camaro, Charles Sanford, and driver of the only Dodge in the field, the driver of the number 1 Sega Dodge, Trent Dunham. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me up here.
You're welcome. Glad to be up here. Hashtag zombie Dodge.
That is correct. Trent, how's it going?
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm sort of coming out of semi-retirement, and yeah, being the only Dodge here, I got to represent, but you know, I have a lot of history with this specific racetrack.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Not all of it good.
Nope, not all of it good. Although you do have some Daytona 500 wins to your belt, so you can't say it's all terrible. All right,
Sorry. No, I cannot.
All right, we're going to go trackside, get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And we're going to see which of these 21 drivers can pull out a victory and where they're all going to start specifically in the Daytona 500. Ooh,
Well, we already got issues.
looks like we already have issues with the number 47. Joshua.
Well, that's not a great way to start off.
No,
And I believe that's Joshua Sisuli or Kakuli?
Joshua Sakuli.
Okay, Sakuli.
That's how I always heard it. I don't know.
Yeah. Problems with Joshua Sakuli already, or they're going to have to come to pit road and get that dialed in. Now, there's no smoke coming out of it, so obviously it's not terminal, whatever it is in that number 47 machine.
That outside line's going to have to do whatever they can to get to catch up to that 42.
They will, I don't know why, but they usually wait till like turns 3 and 4 before they finally start getting up to where they're supposed to be. But this is going to be very interesting now. The 47 could very well, you know, he could be a lap down. At least he's still in the Daytona 500. Not like we had to worry about go or go home cars. Not like the original Daytona 500 of Season 8 where I actually did have go or go home drivers.
That would have been bad if he was one.
Yeah.
Although, granted, if he was depending on which format you had back then, I don't remember.
Yeah, the format
with him starting up on the front row, probably would have been safe on speed part. So.
True, it probably would have. As we're getting ready to we're coming out of turn number 1 here. We're getting ready to go under the green flag for 16 laps of racing. These cars like to go 3 and 4 wide, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. A pair of Chevy Camaros on the front row, getting ready for the start of Can-Am Duel number 1. Green flag is in the air, and we're underway.
First 2 rows were both Chevys, actually.
Yep. So far, Chevy dominated Speed Weeks. Oops.
Chevys are usually fast on their own. It's just a matter of whether or not they can race well.
If only we could see the Chevrolets perform this well in actual NASCAR races. Am I right?
Right.
They're just trying to adjust still.
It seems Jessica was sleeping a bit on the restart, wasn't able to keep up with Kyle Matthews on the outside line, and now it's going to kind of cost the outside line a bit.
Might
But
be
now
just
we see Paul Minnick move to the outside trying to get behind the 42, and it looks like he's going to be stuck in the middle of a 3 wide situation between the 11 of Jay Jefferson and I believe that's the 09 of Kyle Matthews.
Already 3 wide for the top spot.
Oh, 3 wide for 4th place.
And now for 2 rows deep. Yeah.
Yep. Here comes Qualls on the inside.
Helped with his favorite car, too, the 6.
Yep. He's got Levi McIntyre in the 6 car. Now Levi's had a very strong run in testing. Actually, he was top of the board in testing. As you see these cars. Oh, we already have an incident in the back.
Oh, trouble! Yeah, 95.
Oh no, the 95 goes around, and I believe that is Alfredo Faggio.
Faggio.
Yes, it
I
is. One of the other rookies.
I don't think that brought out a caution flag. We are still green here.
Oh wow,
I
no
think
caution
because
for
it's at the
that.
back. I think because it was at the back, that's why.
The Budweiser
So,
All-Pro Series
unfortunate
officials.
break.
Unfortunate break for that 47, who's back out on the racetrack after dealing with his issue. As we are 3
But now we're
wide
about to have
for the lead.
another rookie going out for the lead. Actually, about to be caught in a 3 wide situation. That's the 62 of Tony Green. But now he's about to have some company from the 5 of John Zorling and the 88 of Cole Deaver.
Yeah, and the guy who started out back of this race, the 22 right up there as well, just on lap number 3.
Cody Lamas in the 22 car started out back, but it's always like I said at Daytona. Doesn't matter where you start. It's all it counts is where you finish, because you can go from the back to the front so many times at this racetrack.
Now we have the 14 of Andrew Davis now moving to the inside of Cody. Now as Cole Deaver now takes the lead in that 88
Oh, we
car.
have another incident right here. Oh,
Another incident. Oh, the 92.
The 92
Oh.
Cody Smart and the 12 of Johnny Gardner involved.
Will that be enough to bring out a caution? Left side damage to the 12 car there.
And a great break for Sekuli in the 47. I think he's still on the lead lap, isn't he?
Yeah, the 47 is still on the lead lap. Great break for these drivers here as you see them start to slow down. They're slowing down here. We got side damage to the 12 of Johnny Gardner. William Brock right behind him here.
Surprisingly, that 10 looks pretty good despite being right around the first incident with the 95 there.
Oh, I've seen Dylan Poteet with side damage like the 38 has, up in the mix and almost winning in some of my test races. So caution
That's
is
always
out.
a good sign.
Yep, caution is out for the first time tonight here in the Can-Am Duel number 1. Cole Deaver is your leader. Let's go back and take a look and see at the couple of incidents that have happened here at Daytona. Alright, we're looking here at the incident, what happened between the 95 here. Looks like he tried to go underneath, maybe tried to get to that middle lane underneath Dylan Poteet in the 31, and he just wasn't clear, and Carter Friesen in the 38 just hooks him.
Looks like just a spotter issue there. One spotter maybe said that they were clear, and turns out they weren't.
You see the 10 car.
And the 10 was stuck on the inside, having absolutely nowhere to go there, but luckily was able to drive past out on the apron. That's William Brock.
Yeah.
A great miss there by the 10.
Yeah, that's why he fell so far behind, as well as that 38 machine scraping the wall up here. Now, as we go further up ahead,
I think Friesen actually got the worst end of that part there.
yeah, as we go further up ahead here, we're gonna go with Johnny Gardner here.
That was a couple laps after it.
Yeah, it was. It was right about here. As you see here, somebody tried to go 4 wide right here. The 92 Cody Smart tried to go 4 wide with Michael Whitman and Paul Minnick, as well as Nathan Hudson on the outside. And as you see, he's just trying to fit his car where it shouldn't have been. And Michael Whitman, trying to stay above and turn in the corner, really had nowhere to go and hooks the 92.
You know, someone with the last name Smart, you'd think he would have would have drove a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised the 42 kept in it. A lot of things that could have gone wrong for the 42 there, and actually cost them that front row starting spot.
Well, these cars could very well be pretty decent when it comes to like staying out on a racetrack after incidents. So for all we know, we might not have any retirees, but we're just going to keep an eye out for them, as we know if you retire, you start at the rear of the field for the Daytona 500. So let's go back up and see the restart and who's going to win Can-Am Duel number 1. All right, we're coming to the restart. Pace lights are off. We're going to quickly go through your top 10 here. Cole Deaver, Andrew Davis, Jessica Shelton, Cody Lamas, Dylan Poteet, Jonathan Zorline, Kyle Matthews, Tony Green, O'Neal Sullivan, and James Qualls, your top 10. Nobody has retired out of this race, but we're pretty sure that the 12 and possibly 38, and maybe even the 95, who really knows, are going to be at least slow. Possibly, with the damage that they sustained. But here we go. Green flag is back out at Daytona, halfway here in Can-Am Duel number 1.
I'm not sure I would have done what Lamas just did. He actually went up and made the block on the 31.
Yep, that's going to open the door, but look where everybody went, though. Everybody went to the outside.
I don't agree with that, honestly. Want to protect that apron.
Yes, you do. Here comes Kyle Matthews, going to go underneath his teammate Jessica Shelton. Going to go right behind the 5. And here comes the 14 to the inside.
Andrew Davis all over that back cover of the 88, but now the 85, the 88 is going to try to have a little help from his teammate in the 5. Is that right?
Yep.
That's the 5 and the 09 there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Great restart from Zorline. He's going to go from, like, what was that, 7th to 1st in 1 lap? No, 6th to 1st.
6th to 1st in 1 lap as they go down and take 8 laps to go.
Already past the halfway mark. That 5 is hanging on to that lead, but it's got a bumper full of that 09 car. And the 09 car, Kyle Matthews, didn't he start in this race 4th?
He started, yeah, I believe he started 4th.
Ended up becoming 2nd because of the 47, but yes.
Yeah, as we noticed, that 12 car not really up to speed with the damage he sustained. Looks like they repaired most of it, but just probably some internal engine damage to that number 12 machine.
Tough break from them. They'll just try and survive, and they'll be starting out back as well, no matter what happens, basically.
Yep. Dylan Poteet falling behind here. Things are getting closer and closer as the 62 of Tony Green has the lead.
But for how long? Because here comes James Qualls and his buddy again, the 6. We've seen the 70 and the 6 working together quite a few times tonight.
That's right.
Here's the one that we haven't yet talked about yet. That 21 car, that I believe that's Nathan Hudson on the inside now. He's getting behind the 6 car of McIntyre.
Yep, Nathan Hudson working his way up here, driving for the Wood Brothers Racing Team. Very well known in that machine. Has a couple of wins in the Budweiser All Pro Series driving that. As you see, they're 3 wide once again. The 62 is just out front, loving the racing that's going on in his mirror.
Playing Pied Piper, but that can be a dangerous game. He's got about a 1 car length, maybe even 2 car length lead already over the rest of the field.
You don't want to get too far ahead at a track like Daytona, or else you're going to get freight trained by many cars on the inside or even the middle if it's fast enough.
As true as that is, but with these cars racing 3 wide behind them, could they even get the momentum to catch up to them?
If they start going single file, sure, but right now, no, they will not be able to if they keep battling.
The 11, okay, we got the front 4 now going to be single file, and there goes the 14 to the inside, but no help.
Oh, is he going to be able to hang it in there then down the back straightaway?
There goes the 11. The 11 dives to the inside.
Yeah, I was going to say he had his teammate coming up behind him, might have been able to help.
And here comes the 11 trying to pull a crossover move, trying to give the 14 a little bit of help. That's going to push Jay Jefferson to, excuse me, Jay Jefferson. He's pushing the 11 to the lead.
5 laps to go in Can-Am Duel number 1.
Andrew Davis just led that last snap. Jay Jefferson's trying to get on that inside to try to catch back up. But now the 42 is trying to come back. Michael Whitman, he's going to make it 3 wide for 2nd place, and he started on the pole. And look who's right behind him, the guy who started 2nd.
Well,
would have started 2nd.
I'm not sure I would actually be up here if I was 42, in all honesty. A lot more can go wrong for them than what they can go right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Granted, you want to win, but if they wreck, then that's it. They're not even starting on pole for the 500.
Yep, and here comes the 47, push clear by James Qualls. 47 is they're going to try to catch the 14, but I think going up to the high line might have just ruined that momentum.
I think at this point,
I don't know. He's trying to dive down back in front of the 70 of Qualls. Can't do it as he's going to be pushed by Pote to try to take that 2nd spot away from the 47.
I think at this point now it's just about positioning. We've got 4 to go. Everyone kind of knows about where they need to be to get up to the front in time.
Dylan Pote.
And that's just positioning yourself there.
Dylan Pote poked his nose out a little bit before ahead of James Qualls here, and there he goes. Gonna cut to the inside, right in front of Levi. Levi scrambling to figure out where to put his car. Here comes Dylan Pote going for second place.
The 14 better do a lot of defensive driving if he wants to hold off that 31 car because he's coming.
He definitely is. Dylan Pote knows a lot about restrictor plate racing, and not especially driving that number 31 machine. Three laps
to go this time by.
And here comes Pote, going to duck his nose to the inside of the 14, going for the lead here at Daytona.
That's nice. This is a very Chevy-heavy dual race, isn't it?
Yeah, I just noticed that as well.
There's a couple Fords, and I think Baldwin is the only Toyota I've seen. Definitely the only Toyota in this lead pack.
Pote, oh, look at the 14. He's tried. The 62 doesn't know who he wants to go with. He's going with the 14 on the
that
outside.
indecisiveness is going to cost him.
He better make a decision fast because now here comes the 200 cars now side by side, and they're also going to be caught in a three-wide Chevrolet sandwich now.
Here come the two S3 Motorsports cars, the 09 and the 94. Pote, look at the outside line. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead. 2 laps to go.
2 to go.
And that's going to get Pote stuck in the middle. He does not want to be there.
Want to be on that inside line
sucker hole.
The winner of this race is most likely going to be one of the cars on that inside line right now.
Jessica
Just where you want to be.
Jessica Shelton pushes Zorline clear, and now she's gonna go up to the top with him, pushing that 5 down the back straightaway. But here comes Kyle Matthews. He's gonna go up to the middle line. That could very well clinch the lead at least a little bit for the 5 machine. 3 wide behind him, coming to the white flag.
And here comes
James Qualls might be in that catbird seat. He's 3rd on that inside line as they come off turn 4.
But he's going to have to get that 21 Wood Brothers machine out of the way if he's going to have any chance of catching that 5. As we now see the white flag now waving in the tri-oval.
Nathan Hudson now clears for second over the rest of the field. He's going to go down low. He could try to win this race if he has the drafting help. A Chevy and a Ford right now pulling away a bit from the rest of the pack. Down the back straightaway. Will the 21 pull out?
Oh, he's going to have to at least try.
If he wants to make a move, he better do it now because time's running out.
He's not.
He didn't pull out. He figured he would have, but he didn't. Hudson maybe thinking just
play it safe here. Maybe just say, okay, I'll start 5th. Sure.
Off of turn number 4, coming to the checkered flag, Jonathan Zorline is going to win Can-Am Duel number 1.
And we'll start 3rd in the Great American Race.
Ooh, what a finish for this. As you see, the 12 car is on the back straightaway. Johnny Gardner was so close to being lapped. Had this race been any longer, I think they would have caught him. But what a finish in Can-Am Duel number 1 here at Daytona. Well, gentlemen, I think you guys have a dual race to get ready for.
Yeah, and judging by this one, we'll probably have the crazy one because there always seems to be at least one crazy duel, Daytona.
We saw only 1 caution in this race in particular. As you see the cars start coming down pit road.
1 caution with 2 wrecks.
Yep. Jonathan Zorline gonna save his car for the Daytona 500. As he wins. Let's take a look at the official standings. As I gotta take a screenshot because gonna need it for later. Alrighty, so we got Jonathan Zorline wins, Nathan Hudson 2nd, Joshua Sakuli after his trouble on the start. That caution really saved him as he finishes 3rd. Paul Minnick drives his way to 4th. James Qualls and Dylan Pote 5th and 6th. Cole Deaver, good run for Kyle Matthews for them 8th, 9th. Andrew Davis, and rounding out the top 10 in the 10, William Brock. So, what have you guys learned from watching the first dual race that you could apply into the second one?
Do not go 4 wide ever.
I don't know. I've seen it work before.
Looks Looks like when it comes to the end of the race, looks like track position might be the king, even though normally you wouldn't think that. Depends
Yeah,
on how the people are behind you.
And do not let go of that inside.
yeah.
Try your best not to.
Try, but I don't think either one of us will remember that once we get into the car.
All right. Well, thank you two so much for joining me. This has been Can-Am Duel Race number 1. You guys, good luck in Duel 2, and hope you guys bring your cars back in one piece.
Yeah, hopefully.
Being the only Dodge in the field, I kind of have to.
Yeah.
How many of those Dodges do you have back in the shop?
I have a few, but I'm trying to. I mean, I already have a rack for the 500, but everyone knows my luck in the 500.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. You did okay in the clash until you wrecked, or not. You didn't really wreck. You got involved in something that wasn't your problem, but you did. So
Yeah, don't remind me. I had a very long talk with my crew chief about that.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been Can-Am Duel Race number 1. We're going to get ready and take away coverage for Can-Am Duel 2. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Daytona International Speedway as we get ready for Can-Am Duel number 2 here tonight. This is all the drivers that qualified in the even number positions during qualifying that took place the other day. I am being joined by the person who finished 8th in the first duel race just a few minutes ago. His name is Kyle Matthews. Kyle, welcome to the booth, man. How's it going?
Doing good. Had a pretty fun time in that first race, and looking forward to see what these guys are going to do in the second one.
That's right. It wasn't pretty eventful. You kind of hung around the back, charged your way to the front. You kind of were working out to see how your car was doing. Any idea on how your car is going to be for the 500?
I can definitely move up in the draft, that's for sure. So we're feeling pretty good about it. Just got to work on the timing. If we can time it all right, we should be good. But that's the biggest thing when it comes to plate racing is timing.
Yep. We got ourselves a good batch here in duel number 2. You see Seth Cole. You got the Clash winner Kev Shearer in there on the third on the inside line there. Couple of decent drivers. I'm excited to see this. Let's go ahead and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Command has been given. This is Can-Am Duel number 2 taking place under the lights. This is gonna definitely be something to watch. Remember, this race sets all the even number positions for the Daytona 500. So as you see the 21 cars pull out. So what do you think, Kai? You think these guys are gonna go all out in the first few laps, or you think they're gonna be kind of conservative?
Well, I think we're going to see a combination of both. I mean, you definitely want to, go out there and see what you can do in preparation for the Daytona 500. But at the same time, you don't want to go out there and, risk destroying your car at the same time.
Yep, we got a couple of Hendrick Motorsports teammates in this race, just like the first duel race. 3 of them to be exact, the 9, the 48, the 24. I kind of feel bad for your teammate Charles, as he's the only S3 Motorsports to be represented in this duel race. You had...
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
No, I noticed there's a good mixture of rookie drivers and veteran drivers in here as well. I mean, you see all the rookies in here, but you got, like I mentioned, a lot of veteran drivers in here. You mentioned Charles Sanford, Trent Dunham's in this race, Dylan Young, Seth Cole. So it's going to be interesting to see maybe those guys will team up, just given the experience. All of these guys know each other very well.
Yep. Trent Dunham, the only Dodge in the Budweiser All-Pro Series field for this season. And it's gonna be a heck of a race, to tell you the truth, and I can't wait for this to start. Coming off of turn number 4 at a measly pace of 70 miles an hour. This is gonna be an exciting duel. We saw 2 incidents in the first duel, but only 1 caution flag. We'll see if the rest are the same. As we're coming to the green flag, the pace car goes in. The 9 of Daniel Bouchard leads him to the green flag, and we're underway in Can-Am Duel number 2. Don't forget, the same rules apply as in the dual race. If you wreck your car and go to a backup, retire out of this race, you will start the Daytona 500 from the rear of the field.
It's got to be on the mind of the 9 car right there, especially. He's got that front row starting spot, so he's probably one of the probably somebody that really wants to be as conservative as possible here.
Absolutely. Charles was talking earlier in the broadcast booth about how his car wasn't handling pretty well in qualifying, and I guess he said he's made some adjustments between now and then. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments he's made as Daniel Bouchard continues to lead here at Daytona with Kev Shear right behind him. But here comes the 66 of Josh Drake, not to be confused with Drake and Josh.
Yeah, what are the odds there?
Speaking of him, here he comes to the lead, being pushed by the 32 of Alexander Rowe and Shane Lake in the 37.
It's like the inside line is where you want to be here. It's quite common at Daytona, and we're seeing it again here.
3 wide for the lead. Here comes Shane Lake to the inside, pushed by the 43 of Benjamin Miles. These cars they can either trade the lead many times throughout the lead, or as we're seeing in this instance, the lead car could break away for a little bit and lead a couple of laps rather than just kind of swapping back and forth.
Really, it all depends on what the second and third place cars are doing. If they're racing side by side, that's going to allow for the leader to pull away a little bit and lead. But once they get single file and run them down, they should be able to get back by them.
Yep.
Shane Lake's taking advantage of that battle right now.
Yep, Shane Lake wishing that this was the end of the race coming to the checkered flag, because he's got it made right now. As you see the 43 and the 32 fighting each other. Here comes the car that started in the rear. It was the number 4 car of Kyle Langland. Now remember, in the clash, he was wrecked almost basically out of contention by Kev Shear in that 78 car. So remember, already kind of a bit of a rivalry brewing between the 4 and the 78.
Already got a rivalry started here. Not even this season hasn't even officially started yet.
Yep, Kev's gone piss somebody off already. Shane Lake.
What are we gonna do with him?
I have no clue. Shane Lake, though, controlling the draft. As you can see, the cars can't really get single file enough to chase down that 37 machine. I might have spoke a little too soon there. As you see the 72 car of Jake Smith now, another one of those that kind of started towards the rear of the field here, didn't really have a good qualifying session. Here he is up here in second place.
I noticed 2 veterans at the very back of this pack. I see the 48 of Austin LaPlante, the 2 of Dylan Young back there. Curious of how long they're going to stay back there.
That's a good question. They might be waiting a little for at least the second half of this race, because you never know when an incident could take place.
That's Trent Dunham back there with him.
Trent Dunham back here as well. He watched the first race, so he's probably just hanging in the back here. He did say he was the only Dodge in the field, so he had to bring his car home. So he might actually just be playing it safe right now. He might say it doesn't matter where he finishes as long as he keeps his car in one piece.
Absolutely, but we all know Trent Dunham's history at Daytona. I mean, no fault of his own, but he seems to have some of the worst luck at this track of any driver. But hopefully that ends for him here.
Bit of a 4-car breakaway at the front here. At least it seemed that way for a little bit. Single file. Here comes the 34 going to go low. The 24 decides, no, I'll stay back up high. And here comes the 19 of Carson Gum. Car's starting to get single file here. So I'm just going to say, I believe they're taking the conservative strategy and not trying to race.
It very well could be. I mean, not a bad strategy.
It like one lap. It was like a few laps ago back in Duel 1 that the first caution came out, but we're still clean and green here in Can-Am Duel number 2. Shane Lake pacing the field. Jake Smith second. Trey Wright started dead last in this race. Is up to third. Elijah Gordon in the 24 and fourth. Benjamin Miles up to fifth. Seth Cole now working his way past the 96 for sixth place back here, and they're 3 wide behind him. Trent still just kind of, he's still just kind of there.
Now Trent might be in danger of losing the draft here if he's not careful.
Very possible. He's running the same speed, so he's kind of just falling back without a partner, I guess. As you see once again, the top 5 breaking away from the rest of this field. No one's really trying to make a move. Is that smart strategy?
Not yet, but I mean, it definitely is smart strategy to be right now, but I can't imagine these guys finishing like this. I think they're going to get racy here before too long.
Very well
Or the end of this thing, that's for sure.
Off of turn number 4, coming to halfway, going to complete halfway here. 8 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line.
I have to say, I love the paint scheme of that 37 car. Nice red, white, and blue. And Kroger colors. That, that company has a different meaning for me. So.
Yeah, because you work there. Oh, there comes the 72 car looking to the inside, but didn't really get any help. He can't really get his nose under the 37 because nobody really went with him. Now they're going to leave the 34 car out to dry. That's the price of being a rookie at Daytona.
Oh, absolutely. Experience means a whole lot. And see Seth Cole moving up there right behind Benjamin Miles, and 2 veterans there. And I mentioned here a few laps ago, Austin LaPlante near the very back of this field. He's starting to work his way up there into the top 10.
Yeah, he is. He's right behind Seth Cole. As you see up ahead, you're right, later stages of the race, the cars are really getting racy as Elijah Gordon goes for second place over that 72 machine. He's got Benjamin Miles behind him pushing. Is Ben thinking about making it 3 wide, or is he just going to oh, yeah, he is. 3 wide for second place. Seth Cole and the 43 teammates are this year, the 98 being fielded by Richard Petty Motorsports. So we got teammates on the inside here. Here comes Kev Shearer back.
Kev Shearer had won the Clash, so he's got a good piece down here in Speed Weeks. He's showing it right now. That 78 Bass Pro Shops Toyota.
Let me tell you how Kev Shearer won the Clash. The leader, which I believe was at the time the number 95, was coming up right here down the back straightaway. He was coming up down the back straightaway, and he caught a lapped car coming off of 2. Kev dove to the inside as the lap car went up to block the 95, and he took the lead that way. As we have a couple of teammates here going
Speaking of a lead, speaking of a lead change, Benjamin Miles puts the 43 out in front. It's always nice to see it. Always nice to see that 43 car out front at Daytona, no matter who's driving it.
Yep, 5 laps to go as the teammates from Richard Petty Motorsports are now 1 and 2. But Shane Lake dives to the inside, no help, but still has the nose underneath.
And I just noticed Trent Dunham has indeed lost the draft. So
I really, really, truly believe Trent's just keeping his car out of trouble. And that's what
Shane Lake's not done. He liked. Sorry to interrupt you there, Michael, but Shane Lake likes it up front, and he's.
Yep, right back up in front goes that number 37. Can the 43 close the door before the Toyotas? Here comes, speaking of Toyotas, here comes a couple of the Joe Gibbs guys down the inside line. I guess you can count the 78 as a Joe Gibbs affiliate teammate, but here come the Joe Gibbs boys.
Yeah.
That's Emmanuel.
Technical Alliance there.
Yep, that's Emmanuel Hartnett and Carson Gum, not in that order. Carson Gum leading in that 19 over the 20. Comes Dylan Young up here too. These cars are really getting racy again. Final 4 laps of this race. Not one caution flag.
You see the benefits of having a teammate in this race. I know in the first race I tried working with my teammate Jessica Shelton. That helped out a lot, and just weren't able to get up there at the end. But you see the 19, the 20.
Oh, there they go.
We saw the 40. Almost on cue there. Wow. And like I said, we saw the 43 to 98 get to the front, but now they're followed back. But here come the Toyotas. Carson Gum to the front now.
Carson Gum to the inside being pushed. I don't know why the 20 switched lanes. Rookie Alexander Rowe in the 32 car going to push the 19 to the lead. 19 car goes up to block the outside line, but here comes the 32 and the 34. Couple of Fords in the back here as the 19 of Carson Gum, I think, is going to continue. Oh, he tried to close the door, but couldn't.
Oh boy, that could have been disastrous right there. Good thing the...
Look at these drivers, man. I'm sure Trent right now is happy where he's at. Shane Lake now going to cross sections. He's going to go for second. 2 laps to go here in Can-Am Duel number 2.
I've been very impressed with that 37 of Shane Lake. I mean, you just haven't been able to really shake him. He'd lose the lead for a lap or two, but he's been able to stay up there. I don't think anybody else has been able to do that. He's going to go back to the lead here on the inside with very little help.
No help. Here comes the 72. This is the 37 is going to come up. Maybe try to side draft a little bit here. Can't quite do it, but still has his nose in there. As here comes the 17. Here it comes. That's Jordan Lopez in the 17, pushed by a couple of Hendrick drivers. The 37's going to go. White flag, 1 lap to go. Who is going to win this race?
I like the chances of the 37 car. He's, like I said, as strong as he's been.
Look at that inside line. It's the 24, the 9, and the 48. The 37 can't clear the 32, and they're going to stay racing side by side. Not a lot of help between these two. The 32 car with the advantage off of going into the turn, but the 37 could very well get it. Oops. Coming off of the corner, it's going to be a drag race down to the line. The 32 on the outside line. Who's going to get it?
Believe it's oh, I don't know. I think the 32 may have got him.
Oh my God! A side-by-side finish here in Gatorade. Oh wow, Gatorade. Huh? That's an old name. Here in Canada.
There's a throwback.
All right, and let's see who has won this race. It is the 32.
It's a 32 on the scoring monitor.
Alexander Rowe from Go Fast Racing has won Can-Am Duel number 2. Wow.
That was impressive. It held him off on the outside. You rarely see that.
Let's see. Right there. That's the finishing results. Right there. That's just how close it was.
It's not as close as I initially thought it would from the angle we were looking at it, in the live shot. So clearly 32 edging ahead, as you can see there, but that was impressive. I really thought Shane Lake was going to win this thing.
Look at that margin right there between the 19 and the 24.
Wow.
That's definitely a close one as we watch the rest of the field. 3 wide battle here. And then as we hold the button, wait for it, any moment now. Wow.
Still waiting.
Still waiting.
Cue the Jeopardy music.
Right? There he goes, finally. Trent Dunham brings it home dead last. But boy, does he ever get At least he brought his car home. That's all I can say is at least he brought his car home. 15 seconds behind. Trent, I think you were just a little more conservative than you needed to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got... Must have a really good race car for the 500. Want to keep the thing in one piece heading into it. So
Well, that's true, but also look at this, though. Look at the last 3 drivers.
yeah, 3 veterans right there. Well known: Dylan Young, Charles Sanford, and like we mentioned, Trent Dunham. So we'll see how this works out for these guys.
By 400ths of a second, or 40 thousandths of a second, Alexander Rowe beat that 37. As I'm going to quickly take a screenshot of the results here so I can put together the field.
Notice the top 4 finishers in this race were all rookies.
Yeah. I noticed that too. I have a good rookie class for season 8.1 of the Budweiser All Pro Series. Alexander Rowe, Shane Lake, Jake Smith, Jordan Lopez, your top 4. Emmanuel Hartnett, 5th. Kyle Langland, 6th. Josh Drake, 7th. Carson Gum, who almost had it won with his teammates' help, and 8th. Elijah Gordon, 9th. Seth Cole, 10th. Daniel Bouchard, he will start 2nd in the Daytona 500 as no cars have retired in any of the dual races.
Yeah, and this race went incident free, so which was nice to see.
Yeah, it was very surprising after the first race.
You know, I've noticed with a lot of these qualifying races throughout the years that are talking, you know, NR or real life NASCAR. I mean, it seems like one race is usually more wild than the other one. So it kind of goes the same with this.
You know, yep. And so Trent's definitely got a car he needs to work on. That's for sure. Unless he was purposely doing that just to keep his car intact. But we'll have to wait and see as the Can-Am dual races have concluded, and thus the coverage ends. We will see you guys for the Daytona 500. I'm Michael Norman. This is Kyle Matthews. Kyle, thanks for taking the time to join me up here. I'm sure you guys
Not a
have
problem.
car to work on.
Absolutely. You know, I think the Kings Island Camaro is going to be pretty good here. Just gotta make a few changes to it, but I'm looking forward to it.
Alrighty. This has been a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. We'll see you for the Daytona 500.